sabba, elkhir, salaam, alykum, mselkhīr, mselkhīr, ila, yensek'la, khir. Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, holy souls in physical form. Welcome once again, your host, Sunshine M. Our channel for growth, and as per the norm, the Moroccan clan. I'm gonna let you guys know where they're originated from. So stay tuned. The recorded history of Morocco begins with the Phoenician colonization of the Moroccan coast between the 8th and 6th centuries BCE. Although the area was inhabited by indigenous Berbers for some 2,000 years before that. Isn't that something? Right? Anyway, welcome guys, and I hope that you guys are ready to hear another spectacular or another message from the Devine that I want to share with you guys elsewhere. And I hope that, you know, whatever it is that I share with you guys on this platform, you play it forward, right? Because the hope is to assist others. Don't just contain the information for yourself, share it with the world. We all are here to assist one another. We just don't get that. And there's enough money, enough prosperity, enough gold and silver to go around. Please always know that before you want to be evil and take somebody's food out of their own mouth kind of situation. Anyway, I was watching what do they call it? Documentary, yes. I was watching a documentary about Gary Gilmore. I'm not quite sure if you guys know him. Wow. Sorry, I've been burping crazy. I don't know what is going on. And Gary Gilmore. Well, I'm sure you guys do know, especially those, you know, across the borders. And Gary Gilmore is a man who committed crimes, murders, and he attests to them that he confessed that, yes, I'm the one who killed so-and-so. And, yeah, he was for the death penalty. He actually wanted to be killed. And he had a girlfriend by the name of Nicole Baker. And that's what I want to talk about mostly. About Nicole Baker's side of things. Now, as you guys do know, Nicole Baker had 2 kids, if I'm correct. Yeah, and she was much younger than Gary Gilmore. Yeah, she was love strong. She was crazy over him. And the subject of the matter of, or the subject of what we're going to be talking about right now is evil's influence on naivety. Evil's influence on naivety. Now, Nicole Baker was very naive because of love. And love does make you kind of a bit stupid, doesn't it? With love, you just, oof, you know, you just, you just, and nothing to you know, it's a beautiful feeling, because we are love. But right now, I want to speak to people who are in a toxic love situation, like Nicole Baker. Male or female. You know, my mother, may her soul rest in peace, she passed away 2019. And my mom, I would say she was the most naive person I've ever known, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. My mother was very loving. Yeah, I would say she was an empath herself. She was very empathetic, you know, she could feel emotions, she was very gifted in her own right. She just didn't want to practice it further the way I am. And my mom chose to stick around with my narcissistic father for over 30 years until her demise, heart attack, 2019. Yeah, right? And it used to frustrate me so much because, you know, bear in mind, by the way, what was done to you prior, we tend to take it and do it. We tend to repeat the same cycle over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it kind of, goes through lineage to lineage to lineage. That's how it works. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm the third born, by the way. My mom is from a cycle whereby her mother never kept a man. She never had a husband. My aunt never had a husband. My uncles and whatever, they don't have wives. It's just those cycles, we have those fat and sit. When you take a woman, you just live with them. Stuff like that. Don't get married. And we call it fat and sit. Something new for you guys to know, for those who didn't. And it became a thing. But my mom, she was fighting she was fighting tooth and nail. She didn't want to be like those women. She didn't want to be like those women whereby you get married and you divorce and she ends up like her mom, back home again. She didn't want that for herself and for us. But what she didn't realize is that because she was always in pain, she was always complaining about my dad, it came to a point whereby she eventually, it became a disease to us. As much as we saw that, okay, yes, I do have a mom and a dad living in one house, with which most people were like surprised about, like, what? You have both your parents? And I'm like, yeah. And people were like, aren't you lucky? I'm like, I can rather have a single mom who's happy than have a single mom who's frustrated, 6:35, who's frustrated and angry and keeps complaining about the exact same person and the exact same thing over and over and over again. Literally every day. It became a disease. It's so weird because now that she's passed, I kind of miss those moments. When I walk in the house and she's like, oh, you should hear what your dad did. You did just and the other. I kind of do. 06:55, but anyway. I'm glad that, like, Nicole Baker, I too was in love. And I'm sure like many of you guys are. Probably some of you are still in love now. You just met your counterpart. You just met that partner. You met that girl, What I will say is this. Love is a beautiful thing and there's nothing wrong with it. But it's better received or it's better enjoyed when two parties are coexisting in one bubble. It's much more enjoyable, lovable, pleasurable. It's much more beautiful when you are with somebody who's on your wavelength, emotionally, mentally, and always. I was married and I chose to divorce, for those who've been following me from the start up until now, and hopefully going forward, right? I too have been married. And I got divorced. And before I got married, I had a previous partner, obviously, that I made in high school, my high school love. So weird, because I actually saw him like a week ago. I didn't feel a threat of anything. It was more of, oh, get away from me, you just poison. It was terrible. Honestly, I was like, where do you come from again? And he was just all over me. I'm like, get away from me. Don't even touch me. Damn. You know what I mean? We tend to make so much mistakes for the people that we say we love and that we actually do love. With some, yes, we love them, but we love them by being naive. To a point whereby we sideline everything negative that they do. And that's how narcissists get their part or their place in our lives. At some point until you do your divine work unto yourself and become who you're meant to be. Wow. Sorry. But what I will tell you is this, is that loving somebody does not mean it's the death of you. Yes, it's difficult to let go of the person that you say you love, especially if you do love them fully. But it's another thing if you end up, being involved in things like murder or crime or witchcraft or, anything that can condemn you, even in spiritual prison. It's much more difficult or hard when you are in love with somebody that puts you in situations that will cause you to be, what's the word I'm looking for, to be degraded spiritually, you know, to be, yeah, the word I'm looking for is degraded, not promoted, but you know what I mean? It's one thing if you're going to be with somebody whom you say you love and they put you in a position or in a condition whereby it's going to cause you to lose points with God to a point whereby you are even put or enlisted in a spiritual prison. Well, that came out of sheer difficulty. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you're with a partner who's going to put you in that kind of position. And it's another to stick around with somebody that you know is a narcissist, is cruel to you, cheats on you, hates you, probably even hates and loves you at the same time, because narcissists do that. They don't know what they want until you show them what it is that you want. It's one thing to love somebody and be, I'll say, in a punishment, in a circulatory punishment of being naive with that person. You need to start choosing. We need to choose our own battles. I know love hurts. It's beautiful that it hurts, especially if it's not for that person that you want to give it to. Especially if it's not meant for that person that you are giving it to. As you guys have heard, for some of you who've been following me, when I always mention, I'm waiting for my true love. Listen, I've been in relationships, going out of them, got married, got divorced, or just once, not many times, but you know what I'm saying. Nothing wrong if you got married or divorced 3 or 4 times. It just means you need time to get to know yourself and stop. Let your divine counterpart get you, or come to you. Or at least let a soulmate or a mirror person, you know, show themselves to you who's going to spend the rest of their lives with you, unlike you bouncing from man to man, marriage to marriage. Stop. Choose you. You know? So, it's one thing to, because love can make you a bit naive. But once it gets to a point where it becomes too clouded, you should know when to pull out. As difficult as it is, because when you love somebody, oh, it's been a while since I've been in love, so whoever is coming along my path, I'm going to give you all the love you need. Damn. I'm going to love you. You know? 12:55. And there's nothing wrong with giving love over and over and over again. But I feel like we as people, we tend to rush as well into the love part of things before focusing on fixing ourselves. Once you find peace within you, at first I couldn't understand, I couldn't fathom, because I was like, God, I've been single for so long. I've always met these bloody frogs, that have just caused my life to just spiral out of control. Look where I am today. I used to say that like prior before now. And now, 1333 tables have turned. God was like, no, you need peace and quiet. Find thyself first. Once you found yourself, I give you that counterpart. The whole point is you're supposed to be comfortable within your own skin. You're supposed to be your own best friend. That when that counterpart comes along, or when that guy comes along, or when other guys who are going to want to take chances with you come along, you know how to choose you every time. Rightfully so. But not to a point whereby even when the right guy comes, you can't even tell the difference. You get where I'm going? My Lord, spirituality. Can I be honest with you guys? At times I wish, who I am, what I am, the knowledge that I have, the insights that I have, like me. At times I wish I could just share it with you guys, or give a piece of you guys to the world, of me to the world. But that you know what I mean? Like that knowing. At times I feel like I could just divide it amongst all of you, so you guys can at least meet me halfway, and not just by words. 1444, not just by words. What I'm saying. Am I making sense? I wish so much for you guys to like fast forward and be where I am on my spiritual journey. So when I do speak these words, they're not just mundane, but then again, I'm thinking you're not going to need me if I do, if that happens. Effective immediately, right? Then you guys are not going to need me. I'll probably listen to us now and again, so. But that's my wish, and that's what I pray for every time. That whatever God does unto my life, may He also do it unto others, to other people's lives. May He too bring them enlightenment. May He too bring you enlightenment. That crystal clear seeing how to balance your emotions, how to know who you are. You know what I mean? Being naive. You need 1551. You need to know thyself. And it's time for these incredible changes to take place. Love and loving is not a bad thing. But it does not mean you should be naive when you love somebody. It doesn't mean you should be naive to not follow your heart and your mind and what God and the ancestors and your angels are telling you to do. Being naive is you just cloaking yourself with illusion because you do not, or you refuse to see that this person is not for you. You refuse to see the truth. That is what naivety is. Refusing to see the truth. And I pray for you guys to find that guidance. For God to bestow upon you that light that you guys can do better and stop living in illusion. Hi, GF, my daughter. But I hope that with that being said, the message came across. And I hope that I touched your guys' hearts and your minds. To love is a beautiful thing, but to be naive is another. Right? So always, and I mean always make sure that you put yourself first. Even when times are tough, even when you are so in love, it feels like your heart is breaking because I've had it a lot. I'm an empath, so I love deep. Like I love to a point where when you are lying to me and I kiss you, my heart breaks because I can already tell. That's how intensely I love. So I do know what it feels like when you are betrayed and you are hurt and you are forced into a path that is not for you. When you are deterred by somebody whom you love who does not see or want to give the best of themselves to you, I know what it feels like. When somebody uses your love against you. Don't worry, they'll miss you. They already are missing you. They're missing me already. You know what I mean? But yeah. Choose to always be that light. 1818. Choose to be that light that others will not seem to find. Just because you're strong enough to leave Nicole Baker's position. Be strong enough to say, I'm going to take charge of my life. And I'm not going to let somebody else, especially somebody else who's your karmic, make you be who you're not. And put you under eternal damnation. Because they do not want to go down the rabbit hole on themselves or on their own. Sabba, elkhir, salaam, alykum. Mselkhīr, mselkhīr. Yensek'la, khir. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. You guys are phenomenal. Always, without doubt. Put God first. Right? So be good. Be blessed. Always put the Most High first. You guys are phenomenal.